I call on the distinguished permanent representative of Pakistan. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I congratulate you and the 6th Committee Bureau members on their election and assure you of our delegation's full support. Pakistan aligns itself with the statements delivered by Saudi Arabia and Iran on behalf of the OIC and NAM respectively. Let me begin by expressing Pakistan's strong condemnation of the Israeli aggression and provocations across the Middle East and its genocidal war in Gaza that has so far cost the lives of more than 66,000 innocent Palestinians. Israel must be held accountable for its flagrant and systemic violations of international law, including foreign occupation, state terrorism, targeting of civilians and children, racist laws, and the settler colonial policies to steadily encroach on occupied Palestinian territory. Chair, terrorism continues to mutate into various new forms which are not being effectively and comprehensively addressed. Despite success against Al-Qaeda and Daesh core, terrorist attacks have increased, especially across the Middle East, Africa, and in and from Afghanistan. To end this menace comprehensively, we must combat all forms of terrorism and their root causes or conditions conducive to terrorism. The international community collectively needs to do more to address prolonged unresolved conflicts, foreign occupation, and denial of the right to self-determination to peoples under colonial domination and alien rule, and addressing injustice, oppression, and violations of international law under the pretext of counterterrorism. We must also clearly distinguish between terrorism and the legitimate struggle of peoples against foreign occupation and for their inalienable right to self-determination. Chair, Pakistan condemns terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We have led the fight against terrorism for over 2 decades and suffered over 90,000 casualties, brave soldiers and civilians, including school children. Unfortunately, Pakistan continues to suffer from state-sponsored terrorism from across our borders, including terrorist attacks by the TTP, Fitna al-Khawarij, Daesh, the BLA, and Majid Brigade that target innocent civilians and children. Pakistan has the will, determination, and capability to defeat this externally sponsored terrorism, which is actively aided, abetted, and financed by a neighbor, an aggressor, a country that also likes to play the victim. On the night of 6th-7th May 2025, this irresponsible state committed blatant aggression, carrying out unjustified and unprovoked military strikes on civilian population centers in multiple locations in Pakistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir, in utter violation of international law and the UN Charter, under the pretext of counterterrorism, that resulted in the loss of 54 innocent civilians, 15 of them children, and 13 women. It was after a befitting response by Pakistan, in accordance with our charter-mandated right of self-defense, that this aggression came to an end. But not all countries have the capacity or capability to thwart such aggression. These irresponsible actions and malicious attempts to destabilize the region must not be tolerated. Chair, global counterterrorism efforts have failed to address state terrorism, including the use of state power to suppress legitimate struggles for self-determination or to prolong foreign occupation, which are amongst its worst manifestations, in addition to state sponsorship of terrorism in other countries. The international community must address this phenomenon and the impunity that continues to be associated with such state terrorism and ensure that CT efforts are not misused to violate human rights and provisions of international humanitarian law, as is being done by the occupying powers in Palestine and Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan fully supports the OIC's position that a consensus-based comprehensive convention on international terrorism must clearly distinguish between acts of terrorism and legitimate struggle of peoples for their right to self-determination. Any definition of terrorism must also encompass the new and emerging forms of extremism and terrorism, including violent acts by white supremacists, far-right extremists, violent nationalist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, and anti-Muslim elements, such as Hindutva groups, and similar ideologies in various parts of the world. We must also take into account the state-sponsored extraterritorial assassinations and disinformation campaigns, use of terrorist groups as proxies, and hydroterrorism as instruments of state policy. The UNCT architecture also needs reform from within. Adequate changes to the sanctions regimes to incorporate new and emerging threats and end the stigmatization of Islam and Muslims. Despite a surge in the emergence of right-wing extremist and fascist movements in several countries, leading to terrorist violence, we see a strong inclination to see acts of terrorism committed by those other than Muslims as merely violent crime. Chair, we look forward to the 9th review of the Global Counterterrorism Strategy next year and hope that it will address the key concerns of OIC member states that it failed to do previously, including new and emerging forms of terrorism, and accurately reflect ground realities. We also hope that the GCTS is implemented in a balanced manner across all 4 pillars of the strategy. For this purpose, the UN General Assembly should establish a subsidiary body funded by the regular budget to promote universal consideration and to oversee the balanced implementation of all 4 pillars of the GCTS through a member state-driven process and to translate the strategic objectives outlined in the GCTS into concrete outcomes. I thank you very much.